you find yourself wanting something month after month, year after year, yet nothing happens, and you never come any closer to it, then maybe what you actually want is a fantasy, an idealization, an image, a false promise. Maybe what you want isn't what you want. You just enjoy the wanting. Maybe you don't actually want it at all. Sometimes I ask people, how do you choose to suffer? These people tilt their heads and look at me like I have 12 noses. But I ask because that tells me far more about you than your desires and fantasies. Because you have to choose something. You can't have a pain-free life. It can't all be roses and unicorns. And ultimately, that's the hard question that matters. Pleasure is an easy emotion, and pretty much all of us have similar answers. The more interesting question is the pain. That answer will actually get you somewhere. It's the question that can change your life. It's what makes me, me, and you, you. It's what defines and separates us and ultimately brings us together. For most of my adolescence and young adulthood, I fantasized about being a musician, a rock star in particular. Any badass guitar song I heard, I would always close my eyes and envision myself up on stage playing it to the screams of the crowd, people absolutely losing their minds to my sweet finger noodling. This fantasy could keep me occupied for hours. The fantasizing continued through college, even after I dropped out of music school and stopped playing seriously. But even then, it was never a question of if I'd ever end up playing in front of screaming crowds, but when. I was biding my time before I could invest the proper amount of time and effort into getting out there and making it work. First, I needed to finish school. Then I needed to make money. Then I needed to find time. Then nothing. Despite fantasizing about this for over half of my life, the reality never came. And it took me a long time and a lot of negative experiences to finally figure out why. I didn't actually want it. I was in love with the result. The image of me on stage, people cheering, me rocking out, pouring my heart into what I'm playing, but I wasn't in love with the process. And because of that, I failed. Repeatedly. Hell, I didn't even try hard enough to fail. I hardly tried at all. The daily drudgery of practicing, the logistics of finding a group and rehearsing, the pain of finding gigs and actually getting people to show up and give a shit, the broken strings, the blown tube amp, hauling 40 pounds of gear to and from rehearsals with no car. It's a mountain of a dream and a mile-high climb to the top. And what took me a long time to discover was that I didn't like the climb very much. I just liked imagining the top. Our culture would tell me that I've somehow failed myself, that I'm a quitter or a loser. Self-help would say that I either wasn't courageous enough, determined enough, or I didn't believe in myself. The entrepreneurial startup crowd would tell me that I chickened out on my dream and gave in to conventional social conditioning. I'd be told to do affirmations or join a mastermind group or manifest or something. But the truth is far less interesting than any of that. I thought I wanted something, but it turns out I didn't. End of story. Who you are is determined by the values you are willing to struggle for. People who enjoy the struggles of a gym are the ones who get in good shape. People who enjoy long work weeks and politics of the corporate ladder are the ones who move up. People who enjoy the stresses and uncertainty of a starving artist are ultimately the ones who live it and make it. This is not a call for willpower or grit. This is not a lecture of no pain, no gain. This is the most simple and basic component of life. Our struggles determine our successes. So choose your struggles wisely, my friend.